What is up, boys? It is Yarrow Wins, and in this video I'm going to bring you a 4-3-2-1 formation and custom tactics guide for FUT champions and division rivals. And yeah, it's a very overpowered system, it's very meta, and it's very fun to use as well. So yeah, let's get straight into it and I will explain as we go. So as I say, the 4-3-2-1. Now the pros of this particular formation for me, I think that having three sort of box-to-box central midfielders is a very fun way of playing because it's very balanced and you have as much defensive support as attacking support, and if you have the right players for this system, it's just very effective in both areas of the pitch. So in terms of the actual tactics and the defensive and offensive style, we do start off with the defensive style that is balanced. Now balance, I guess, is the key word that I've used to describe this whole formation and system. And yeah, that kind of applies to the defensive style. You don't necessarily want to drop back or press necessarily, and the reason for that is, as I say, the way the players are positioned are balanced and is balanced in itself, and the fact that we're going to be playing a high depth at 7 bars kind of counteracts the need for a constant pressure and heavy touch, because yeah, with having the right players in this system, that kind of happens naturally and you can manually press just by being sort of high up the pitch. In terms of the width, I've gone slightly above balanced because with the central midfielders obviously being quite compact, you do want slightly more width to basically cover off more areas of the pitch in the middle of the park. You don't want to be bunched up too much because then you can get overloaded, especially if the opponent is playing with sort of wide players as well. So yeah, we go slightly above balanced at around 6 bars. In terms of the offensive style, again, if you watch my previous formation and tactics guides, the long ball is one of my favourite sort of go-to offensive styles. If you have the right players, especially those that have pace, good attack positioning. I mean, my front three is Sane, who brings all the pace and sort of that wing presence. Lewandowski is like the central striker. He's got great attack positioning, decent pace with Hunter, and he also thrives off these like through balls, long balls, and yeah, he's very effective as like a main central striker. And then Gnabry is my sort of right winger, right forward, and yeah, he also plays quite well for his role. Again, in terms of the offensive width, kind of similar to what I'm saying with the defensive, you do want to basically get some more width than is natural in that formation, but it counteracts with the instructions as well, because the formation is quite narrow in itself. Because, for example, compared to a 4-3-3, the right wing and left wing are sort of more on the flanks, whereas in the 4-3-2-1, it's more like having 3 out-and-out strikers at times. So yeah, having the offensive width slightly above balanced, it does give you some extra wide options, and yeah, just sort of places your players immediately quite spaced out, and that gives you more options rather than having to play a narrow sort of approach all the time. Now, players in the box. Now, as I've seen, and I think a lot of you might have felt from playing the game more and more, you're understanding that there does seem to be a meta in terms of crossing the ball, getting players in the box, or overloading your opponents on those attacks. So yeah, I've gone quite high on the players in the box at 7. So yeah, I would recommend that. And for corners and free kicks, as always, an objective choice for you guys, but I have aerial threats and I like to score from corners, so I have that quite high. Now, we get into the actual individual instructions, and this is where it kind of gets more specific for the players that you have. So in my particular team, I obviously have Lewandowski as my sort of out-and-out main focal point striker, so I want him staying central, staying forward, mixed attack, because he's not as fast as maybe sort of a very pacey, agile striker, so you don't necessarily want him getting in behind all the time. You can make use of his sort of target man style. He's got good dribbling, good ball control, good strength, good heading, so a mixed approach I think is best, especially with the fact that if you have 2 sort of fast wingers slash sort of second strikers, for example Sane, I have him on drift wide, getting behind, stay forward. For my other winger, balance with getting behind as well and stay forward. Again, you're going to want to have one of those 3, or I guess one of the 2 wider players, wider strikers, on a balance width, and one going wide, because you want to have a different approach basically. So you don't want both going wide, you want maybe one balanced, so that gives you more options and another outlet in the middle of the pitch as well, rather than going wide all the time. Now for the three central mids, as I've said, they're quite narrow, as you can see, and that's why you need the actual width in the custom tactics. But yeah, all three of my central midfielders are quite box to box, so they can do it all. So Wijnaldum, the left central mid, stay back while attacking, get into the box, cover centre. Zakaria, who's more like an out and out CDM, he will stay back, not get into the box and stay on the edge, cover centre. And Juan Goretzka, just on balance completely, covering centre, so he can basically be the box to box. Zakaria is the out and out CDM, and Wijnaldum is sort of a more defensive minded but can get forward into the box as well. Then for the fullback instructions, as usual, stay back while attacking. That is basically the lowest risk option that you want, and then obviously if you want to go more attacking, you can use the D-pad instructions to basically get them forward as well. But yeah guys, that is the formation, those are the tactics, those are the instructions. Let's actually see some gameplay footage to see how effective this system actually is and why you should use it in Foot Champions.
So guys, as we can see from these clips, in this particular match, you can see I'm 2-0 down, and yeah, we had like a bad start in this game. But you will see the effectiveness and how good this system is in obviously getting back into the game. So here you can see the attacking options. I get it to obviously that central threat with Lewandowski, and a great finish there, gets me straight back into the game. And I sort of take over from there. And yeah, in the rest of these clips, I'll basically show attacking moves and also sort of good defensive plays to basically show you guys how solid this system is as well. So as you can see, with obviously a high line, I win the ball back. The counter-attacking options, and with having quite a lot of players get into the box, you can see there's almost 5 or 6 players getting forward there. And yeah, within the space of about 10 minutes, I've overturned that deficit and obviously back to 2-2. Now, once again, you can see basically going from back to front, I win the ball back, quick driven pass out, a few quick other passes, and yeah, obviously again, you can see the threat going forward. I don't quite get it through there, but with the CDM, quite aggressive, I win the ball back and yeah, get straight onto it. Once again, don't score just there, but you can see the pressure that I'm putting on the opponent, and this will eventually lead to me basically scoring the go-ahead goal. And yeah, you can see in general just the pressure is very effective, because I'm basically waiting for the opponent to make a mistake. Right in the middle of the pitch, you see there Wijnaldum, as one of the box-to-box midfielders, wins it back. And although Lewandowski doesn't score, Wijnaldum actually tracks that run, gets into the box as well, and obviously finishes it off. And yeah, that is sort of one of the main pros as well with having these 3 box-to-box central mids. They do the defensive work, but also they're very effective in getting forward and giving you that extra option from the center of the pitch. Now see, in that particular pass, you can see the effectiveness of having sort of a narrow right wing, right forward, because it gives you the width when needed, but in that instance Gnabry was sort of more narrow, more like a striker, and he wasn't all the way wide, and just one good through ball basically broke through the defense. And yeah guys, in this final clip, yep, you can see the counter attack. So obviously 4-2 up, got no danger, I win it from the corner, quick throw out, and Lewandowski gets in there, and it's another wonderful finish. So yeah guys, this 4-3-2-1 system is very effective, highly recommended for Foot Champions, very well balanced, great in attack, good in defense. And yeah guys, hopefully this guide did help you out. If it did, drop a like. Don't forget to comment any suggestions or any thoughts down below, and subscribe if you are new. So thank you guys for watching once again, and I'll see you on the next video. Never to return, never to